clother. I am in need of beer. How's it going, gamers and tax evaders alike? There's a little thing that's been going on. A little something called Quizlet. No, Squid Game. That's what it's called. If you guys aren't aware, this is a show that's been pretty fucking popular right now with the youngins, the kids on the TikToks and the Instagrams. It's a Netflix original show that was created in South Korea, specifically the southern one. The northern one doesn't really They don't really do Netflix as far as I've heard. And by golly gee, God almighty, oh Christ himself, Lord, Jesus the Redeemer. That was a sick motherfucking show. I have never seen that much fucking like gore and like straight up evil and violence done in such a unique way before. I mean, I'm not, outside of like the horror genre, you don't see a huge amount of gore, I would say, in movies. I mean, depending on whether you're watching like fucking knights battling, and usually it's not done so well, and it wasn't done perfectly. I thought that the coloration of the blood was kind of off. It wasn't perfect, but god damn, it was violent, and it was fucking amazing. I felt like the show did a pretty realistic job of showing how people would react in these situations. Like, when we got into the first, obviously, by the way, huge spoiler warning, if you haven't watched the show, or at least finished the show, don't watch this video, because I'm gonna be going deep into spoiler territory, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm sorry. Shit! So in the first game, it's red light, green light, and pretty much everybody with a fucking phone and TikTok downloaded on it knows about this goddamn game at this point. Everybody's talked about it to the point where I don't even know what I can say. And yet I do somehow have things to say about it, because I'm that type of person. As a white male, I always got opinions about everything. I like how we pretend like that's just a white male thing, that all white males have opinions, as if it's not just like a man thing in general. It's just us dudes are opinionated as fuck. So my thoughts with the red light, green light game that we saw in there, when I was watching it with Paige, I was like, oh, well, you know, in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, well, I assume most people will catch on to the game, and then a bunch of people will make it through, like maybe like 50, 60 people die or whatever, you know, some shit like that. No! I was horribly mistaken. I thought that in real life, that pretty much everybody would fucking die in the first round. Like, at least half of the people would die. And it turns out that the writers of the show thought that as well. Because in the fucking first game, half of the fucking players die. More than half, I'm pretty sure. Which I think that is fucking completely realistic. I think that there would be mass fucking panic in a situation where they realize that they're being shot if they move in red light, green light. Like, they die. It's life or death, man. And I think that that was done really fucking realistically. And I was a big fan of it. And I felt like the games just kind of got better and better from there. It was kind of interesting for me, being an American, seeing these specifically Korean games that I'd never even heard of, like the marble game that they were playing. That was really cool. And a lot of the characters are completely over the top. I mean, Gi-hoon at the beginning is just he's a lunatic. He's a mess. The guy's all over the place. But I feel like there's very realistic and believable character growth throughout the entire show. And that was one of the things that's really struck me about the show as being fantastic. I get to see that these characters actually grow and develop as people. Like we saw at the beginning that the North Korean girl just wanted to steal and be kind of bitchy all around, you know? But then she finally makes a friend while she's playing the games. Like, they finally actually meet people, make friends, and you see character development. Gi-hoon with the old man. Gi-hoon actually cared about the old man, and he felt horrible when he realized that the old man knew that he was getting taken advantage of. That was such a powerful fucking scene, by the way, and it was genius. Pure fucking evil on the writer's part. I had a feeling going into it. I was like, oh my god. It clicked to me as the game was like about to start, like just a little bit before. I'm like, they're gonna have them play against each other. And I said to Paige a couple of times, I'm like, holy fuck, that is like pure evil. Like, have them group up into pairs, and obviously when they group up into pairs, they're going to choose somebody that they're comfortable with, that they know, you know, somebody that they've been doing the games with or being social with, part of their group. Obviously, if you go into that, that's how it is in real life. If somebody tells you to pair up with somebody, you're gonna pair up with somebody that you're friends with. And then to make them battle to the fucking death is so goddamn astoundingly evil. It actually shook me pretty fucking deeply. Like, that was just completely unexpected. I was really fucking caught off guard by that. I think that it was just a genius decision on the writer's part, and overall fucking added to the show immensely. Like fucking Song-woo, I knew he was an evil motherfucker up until this point, and just completely all in it for himself, just self-interest, which clearly, I mean, it's a life or death thing, so it's gotta be. But the scene with Ali, when he used his mind to basically fuck Ali, it was just horrible. You fucking hate Song-woo, and yet you kind of feel like, shit, I mean, I don't want to die either. I kind of see a bit of myself in Song-woo. I don't know if I could say that I wouldn't do that in the same situation, because people are fucking, we're all the same, right? Now, obviously, Song-woo was a big dickhead leading up to this beforehand. That wasn't a huge shock, but what was really shocking was just the way what he did to Ali. I mean, if you guys haven't seen that episode, oh my fuck. It's just straight up evil, man. It's fucking evil. Like, he was losing fair and square and then tricked the poor guy because of the language barrier and because he wasn't that, you know, he wasn't the smartest guy. So he just completely took advantage of him. Super fucked, man. But in some way, he redeems himself slightly at the end by finally just letting Gi-hoon win, and at the last second, the last thing that he asks is not to forgive him, not anything, nothing like that. All he asks is for him to take care of his mom. And that really redeemed Song-woo, at least in a small way for me. The fact that at the end of it all, he at least showed a little bit of humanity and fucking decency and asked Gi-hoon to take care of his mom. I mean, that was really a great thing that the writers did. It really brought Song-woo back a little bit of humanity to me. It was great. Not sure why Gi-hoon decided to turn into a fucking Tumblr lesbian at the end. I don't completely understand the, I mean, I guess the red represents the blood of the people that died to get him to that point, or like maybe he just wants to pursue a career in the K-pop industry. I don't know. Little confusing, but you know, what are you gonna do? Overall, I'd say that the show was fantastic up until the end. I thought that the end was pretty unsatisfying, although that might be my small-minded self. Maybe a film critic such as Kino, the Kino Corner, would disagree with me there. I don't know. I'm not gay. But overall, I thought that it was a pretty great show up until the ending, which kind of let me down. It was kind of a letdown, but not the worst thing that I've ever seen. It wasn't worse than Game of Thrones Season 8. Gotta say. Nowhere near as bad, in fact. It looked really great by comparison. Anyway, I just really wanted to share because I, you know, finished watching Squid Game, finished watching Squid Game, and really enjoyed it, so I hope you guys have watched it as well, and if you haven't, you gotta check it out, even though I spoiled quite a bit for you there. Oh my god, I forgot to say this in the last video. I forgot to do my normal outro in my video that I uploaded earlier today. This will be my final video ever, and I'll see you all in hell.